Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you are seeing this. First and foremost, welcome to week 21 of 52 weeks with Spirit and Tamara. Um, Listen, I apologize for yesterday, guys. I was low energy, not feeling the greatest, actually doubting myself. So I took a self-care day. And I think that's something that we need to start implementing into our daily lives. If we wake up and our energy is low and we can't raise our vibrations no matter what we try, whether it's music or hanging out with friends or whatever it is, sometimes we just have to, take a day. And so I acknowledged that yesterday and decided, I'm going to take a day. I know this could cause disappointment because I know you guys look forward to these messages, but I just had to trust spirit, and I had to trust myself, and I had to trust my intuition on what I was feeling. And so yesterday I spent the day in bed, and I don't know if you guys know, but I bought a book recently called Worthy by Jamie Kern Lima. And it's how to believe you are enough and transform your life. Simple steps, life-changing results. Let me tell you guys, I have bought many, and maybe sometime soon we'll go through it and I'll show you all the different self-help books I have bought. But I have bought many self-help books, many books just to kind of like awaken that inner person, higher self within us, right? And I have never connected to a lot of books. I mean, I've read books by Oprah Winfrey, Michelle Obama, called Becoming, Tony Robbins. I've done courses with him. Like the amount of educational mindfulness and stepping into your own and owning who you are courses that I have done for my highest and greatest good have been extramental. But I've never bought a book. First of all, I don't buy books that are over 20 bucks. I don't, unless it's a journal, and then I understand why, right? But I bought this book. It was 26 bucks. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to jump in. I've had this book come in front of me three different ways, whether it's in a conversation, whether I've seen it on a shelf, whether I see it on a post that's going through when I'm scrolling. And I'm starting chapter 3 today. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to actually read chapter 3 to you because, or at least part of it, because I really feel like it's important and I feel like we can all resonate with this message. So that is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to read to you part of chapter 3. The chapter is called You're Not Crazy, You're Just First. And there's a quote by Carl Chung, and it says, the world will ask you who you are. And if you don't know, the world will tell you. And what I loved about that quote is that's exactly it, right? Like the world will make up labels for all of us in any situation, no matter what we're going through, right? When a woman gets divorced or a man gets divorced, they're, considered divorcees. If a partner dies or a spouse dies, they're considered widows. If someone is gay, they get the labels of gay, lesbian, bi, trans, you name it, there's there's a label for it, right? And then even in school, right? Hard to please, people pleaser, um, high energy child, right? Like we get all these labels and we are attached to those labels and they become part of us, but they don't have to stay that way. So let me read. Mom and dad, Mom and dad, I have this product idea. It's a pet rock. I think I can sell these things and make millions. For those of you who are too young to remember, the pet rock came out in 1975, the year I was born, and was enormously popular. The creator, Gary Dahl, became a millionaire. But can you imagine the conversation he must have had when he came up with the idea? Can you imagine the doubt and laughter that came his way? Or what about the moment witnessed gathered on the beach to watch The Wright brothers make yet another attempt to fly a machine into the air after hundreds of previous failures. Can you imagine the names they were called or how misunderstood their genius likely was? Or the person who invented the shake weight. You know, that product commercial where the guy holds that dumbbell like weight in front of his abdomen and shakes it back and forth rapidly to get a workout? No, you should have seen my grandma's face for the first time she saw that commercial because, well, it looked like a lot of things other than shaking a weight. Who knew that the invention would be such a huge climatic success? These innovative people were probably all called words like crazy at some point along the way, but they were just first, and so are you. Confession: I've been called crazy most of my life, most often by people who loved me and used it as a term of endearment because they didn't know what else to say. I was the one who thought differently, the one who always had a big, wild idea to challenge or fix the world's problems, the one who dreamed of going to faraway places and was willing to work enough jobs to make it happen, the one who never felt like I fit in, even when I tried desperately to, the one who believed where I come from doesn't have to determine where I'm going, and challenged my family with questions like, what's stopping people like us from having success like that? The one who got teased for being the only person at my party not drinking alcohol on my 21st birthday because I was scared to death of repeating the generational cycle of addiction. After years of being called words like crazy, I couldn't help but start to wonder if I was. I began trying desperately to feel like I belonged and did whatever I could to feel less alone and more enough. I mastered dimming my own light to make people around me feel comfortable, but I was left feeling empty and even more alone. Then in my 20s, I swung the pendulum in an entirely different direction and spent a few decades overachieving, confusing the world's approval and celebration with love, but neither overperforming nor dimming filled the void of not enoughness I felt inside of me. When they called me words like crazy, I told myself it just meant I was misunderstood, but I secretly wondered if they were right. In my 20s, following all the rules the world told me to, I planned to get married before I was ready. Then I started having panic attacks. I fell into depression. My adoption, coupled with divorces in my families, had ever go- had ever gone to therapy that I was aware of or even spoke about mental health. In the environment where I was raised, the solution was to avoid talking about hard things, to bury them deep down inside until they went away, or just to ignore them as if they never existed at all. I was the first one in my family and peer group to seek therapy. Between the health insurance my job gave me and my savings, I figured out how I could afford to go. And I was in so much anguish that I couldn't afford not to. The first appointment I had with my therapist changed the course of my life forever. After explaining to her all the ways I felt different and like I didn't belong, I also let her know I had big, bold dreams and wild ideas. And I felt like I had more potential than the person I was allowing myself to be. I told her that I felt like I was made to do different things from what I needed to do to belong, and that I was dimming my own light on my ambitions and even my personality because I felt like something was wrong with me. And now I was supposed to be marrying someone I loved, but I was scared. How could I know if marriage was right for me when I'd seen it be wrong for so many people in my family? After my therapist diagnosed my panic attacks and depression, I point blank asked her, my whole life I've been called crazy or different or too ambitious or strange or out there. Am I crazy? She replied, no, you're not crazy, but I'm really glad you're here. She proceeded to explain how when we were the first one in our peer group, family, or community to challenge the status quo, it can feel very isolating. When we're the first or only one to feel differently, we can feel other, we can feel authored. When we don't morph who we truly are to fit in and we show up authentically, it can be worrisome to others who live in a comfort zone where fitting in is the path to acceptance. When we're first to break the mold of our conditioned belief system, it can come with loneliness, stress, and trauma. She then explained how when we live out the alignment with who we truly are in order to fit in, we actually live divided. And that division can also come at a great expense for our mental and physical health. It all made so much sense. And then it hit me like a light bulb so instantly hot that it burst. I'm not crazy. I'm just first. I felt this aha moment in my soul, a truth that had just set me free. Like the weight of self-judgment had just been lifted off my shoulders for the first time in my life. I'm not wrong. I'm just first. I'm not bad. I'm just first. I'm not broken. I'm just first. I'm not mistaken. I'm just first. I'm not off course. I'm just first. I'm the first me, and you are the first you. And if we bravely live at our authentic essence, we are first. If you live your life authentically, you're automatically first because there is only one of you in the entire universe. So if you're wondering if you're actually first, you are, or at least you are every day in which you're true to be your own one of a kind self. Because there is only one you in the entire universe, just one person in existence with your thoughts, with your life experience, with your DNA, with your fingerprints, with your unique heartbeat. Yep, we actually have a unique heartbeat. And even with your individual tongue print, yep, we have a unique tongue print too. Then every thought, decision, and action you choose for the rest of your life is coming from someone who is first. When you dare to live authentically at the first you, it can easily be confused with feeling odd or misunderstood or awkward or lonely or not enough. And when we feel these things, the biggest temptation is to hide, change who we are so that we feel like we fit in. In fact, this is the most strategy their entire life because they don't realize they're just first. So they think they're inadequate and need to change who they are or show up as another version of themselves to be loved. But being first isn't wrong with you. It's what's right with you. What are the parts of you and your personality that aren't crazy? They're just first because they're uniquely you. It takes courage to be like you. It also the only path you'll ever find to true freedom. It takes risks to be the real you. And it's also the only possibility of experiencing true purpose. It takes vulnerability to be the real you. And it's also the only place you'll experience true love. Showing up in this world is as all of you who are tastes like freedom. The people who dare to be first, who courageously embrace their innate fit firstness, the ones who can change the course of their families forever. They're the ones who decide to stop people pleasing and actually say how they feel. They're the ones who learn to stop doubting their own uniqueness and decide to embrace who they truly are. They're the ones who might set different examples for their kids than their families set for them. The ones who might challenge injustices and liberate truth. They're the ones who might say, I want more for myself, for my family, and my world. And then dare to believe it's possible. The ones who break addictions and generational cycles. The ones who say, this doesn't make sense in my soul. I'm challenging that belief system. They're the ones who help heal others by first healing themselves. They're the ones who courageously share their ideas and offerings, no matter the criticism they may come. They're the ones who change things in their families for generations to come. They're the ones who change industries. They're the ones who change the world. When I realized this truth, it helped me to change this meaning I attached to how I felt about who I was. It helped me reestablish my own identity from the one that was disempowered to one that was emboldened, from one that felt ashamed of who I was to one that felt liberated for all that I am. What if the thing you thought was wrong with you is actually one of the greatest things that's right with you? And that's where I'm going to stop. You know, I think for a majority of our lives, we are so caught up in this place of having to be like everyone else. When the truth is, we need to step into being our authentic self. You know, many years ago, probably about 4 now, 5, I came out. And 7 years ago, I came out of the spiritual closet. I told the world I was a medium and I embraced it. And I had no shame in it. I was like, I am a medium. I talk to the dead. That's what I do. And I was proud of it. And I was proud of this honor that God had bestowed upon me and this gift. And then a few years later, I came out that I was gay. And that was harder to do than telling people I talk to dead people. And even today, I struggle. I struggle to admit it to myself. I struggle to admit it to others. I just struggle. I struggle to tell the world who I am. And I feel like I have to continue to people please, and I have to continue to help and continue to be everything for everyone. When the truth is, I just want to be me, and I'm just going to be me. And I just want you to be you. So this week, I want you to step out of your comfort zone. This week, I want you to embrace who you are. And as you slowly begin to develop and train your mind into this worthiness of who you are, you will grow. I wanted to kind of let you guys know about something. Starting June 2nd, you can get this book, Worthy, by Jamie Kern Lima. You can get it on Amazon, the hardcover. You can also get it on Kindle. And starting June 2nd, with the help of a friend, we are going to be hosting a Rise Up and Discover Your Worth book club, where for the next 4 months, because there's 4 parts in this book, we are going to dive in. We're going to work through it together. If there's aha moments you have while reading, if there's times that you just want to talk, we're going to have weekly Zooms. We're going to have different things happen, whether it's weekly or twice a month. We're going to arrange it. We want to work with everyone to work for timing and time zone and stuff like that. I think the idea we had was that we would meet every single week and talk and chat and just have that communication space, that safety space to feel like we're doing this together. Finding our worth, yes, is an individual moment. And a person can have self-confidence and have no self-worth. And a person can have self-worth and no self-confidence. For me, I can only speak for myself. I have self-confidence, but I struggle with my self-worth because for so much time in my life, I didn't think I was worthy, or I was told I wasn't worthy. So I started to believe that, and it set into stone that limited belief system that I'm not worth it. But that's changing now because I am worth it. And so are you. And so I hope you'll join us. It's a free book club. It doesn't cost a cent. It just costs some time and energy to work on creating the worth of who you are. Because let's admit it, we're humans. We're spiritual beings here having human experiences. And some of those human experiences aren't fun. So let's do this together. Let's rise up and discover our worth. I hope you'll join us, and I hope you'll rise up and buy this book. There's another big announcement, which is going to be announced on the Facebook page tomorrow, May 24th. It's something that I have been doing without anyone's knowledge, and it's time to announce it to the world. So I hope you'll tune in and find that post and share it out and get people talking, because that is what we're here to do, to communicate, to level up, and to grow. Have an amazing week, guys. Remember, you're worth it. You're loved. You're seen, you're heard, and you're amazing, just as you are, because you're first. Bye, guys.